So we'll do one last part here before we move into spec-driven stuff. So we know that we've got this API that is completely open, allows it to come in from anywhere, has no rate limiting, doesn't require an API key, doesn't log anything in CloudWatch, doesn't trigger any warnings if we exceed billing limits. All those things are things that we can do to improve this. But let's see what Claude tells us, and just go ahead and type this in or paste it in. What are some ways we can secure the DCC API to prevent abuse or abuse? So let's just see. We won't necessarily implement all, but we'll just take a look at this in general. Okay, there's quite a few here. So let's see. Let's come back up. There we go. So no rate limiting currently. Wildcard course, we have a splat there for any origin. There's no authentication. We're not going to add authentication. We want people to just do this. No request validation, so we don't actually see what's coming in on the request. We don't really pass any query parameters in or anything like that anyway, but we could put obviously stuff in the header to tell us that it's coming from us and so on. No monitoring or logging. Okay. So we would recommend adding rate limiting, API keys. Those two would be easy for us to do. We'll do that. Won't do the course thing because I don't want to have to deploy this for real, but I think that would be reasonable. And then let's see, maybe add login monitoring, but let's see if there's anything else that jumps out at us for that. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so rate limiting course configuration, API key authentication. Yes, so let's do that. Okay, so we do have a throttling rate limit and burst limit. Let's see what else we're seeing. So users play with those. And doing the API key, good. tip looks interesting. I've never seen that before. Use pound to memorize shortcut to quickly add to Claude MD. I don't even know what that means. I'll have to look it up. Okay, so I think everything's updated. What we want to show now, or do now, is do a redeploy. We still do the guided, which I don't know if it's going to prompt us each time again, or if it'll just do it without. But we could take that guided thing off. But let the deploy go, and then after that we get our API key back, and we should be able to update the Flutter app at that point. Okay, so let's see if we can do it. I think we'll do it on our own. Get prompted again. I'm going to go ahead and just do it. Here's our API key. I think we'll run the tests first. Now we don't have the API key in the tests, so we'll see if they have, unless it updated the test. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think this test has been updated, so let's try and run it first. Let's see. There we go. Good. That's what we'd expect at least. Now, let's go back to doesn't look right. Sure. Okay, so it's figured out that it had been deployed. I deployed in the other window. So let's see what it's doing here. It's just going to apparently dump what the stack is. Forbidden. It's going to figure out what this forbidden is coming from. Why? Ah, look at that. Interesting. So the key that was listed, the value that was listed as output from that SAM script was not accurate. So I'm not sure what to do with that. Anyway, I'm kind of unfamiliar with SAM, so I just trusted it. Stupid. All right. But I'm glad that Claude Code figured it out. Let's see. That's interesting.
It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. By Aristotle. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. By Thomas A. Edison.
Excellent. So it looks like we got our rate limiting and API key. That rate limiting looked a little crazy, like way too big for a little toy like this. Let me check that real fast. Well, that was a very unclear question. I hope it interprets it correctly. Please guys know whether the rate limiting is excessive or not. 50 requests per second, sustained, 100 requests per second burst. Jeez. Quite generous. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. This is better. There we go. Perfect. So it's actually now going to update the build file, the template, and then let's see what else we're going to update our README. Good, and I think it's already figured out. Like I want to do that to Claude too. Good. So I have to look up that pound to memorize. Let's see if we can get a rate limit hit and see if we get any, if the response to it has been built into the code. Oh, there we go. They'll actually see rate limiting kick in after a few quick requests. Perfect for doing shit. Good. We'll try that out. All right. Now, did it actually do? I don't think it deployed it yet, though. He's going to test it by just running a loop. I wonder if we should add that to the. Let me see. Actually, we don't trust that test just yet because we haven't seen it run. The wondering. Excellent. Look at that. Only the usage plan and throttling settings are modified. Great. Fantastic. That is awesome. See, there's like a learning experience too. All right. I'm feeling like I want to run this API. This guy again. I wonder if we'll get it now. I think without changing this, it should work.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. By Eleanor Roosevelt. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. By Tony Robbins. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. By Walt Disney. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. By Eleanor Roosevelt. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. By John Lennon. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. By Walt Disney. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. By Aristotle.
like that one. Yes. Let's see. I'm gonna do a reload for this. Do the capital R. Okay, that's a full restart, and then let's try again.
Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower, by Steve Jobs. The only way to do great work is to love what you do, by Steve Jobs. To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong, by Joseph Chilton Pearce. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower, by Steve Jobs. The only way to do great work is to love what you do, by Steve Jobs. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, by Winston Churchill. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work, by Thomas A. Edison. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin, by Tony Robbins. The only way to do great work is to love what you do, by Steve Jobs. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, by Eleanor Roosevelt. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, by Winston Churchill. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, by Winston Churchill. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, by Winston Churchill. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today, by Will Rogers.
Just want to see if it came back. Okay, so let's make a couple other quick changes here. Okay. Good. Perfect. That's a nice simple change. I like that. Let's see if that works. Automatically, new code. Yeah, let's give that a try. Again, I'll just do a complete capital R. All right, here we go.
Life is what happens. I have not failed. If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else, by Booker T. Washington.
So do a bunch again and get that failure and then not have to listen to it all.
You learn the way to get started is to the future the way experience.
There we go. Finally got that.
To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong, by Joseph Chilton Pearce.
Good. One last thing to do. New feature. Please document accordingly. just typed up another big new feature, so hopefully this will work. We're going to add a settings screen that will have two settings, one to turn on and off audio and the other to kind of choose which interested quote categories the user might have. Not going to worry about it if we're really implementing it just yet. See how it does. Sure, looks good. So it's going to throw the gear on the actual app bar up there near the DCC quote app. And then make a whole new page as well. I should expand our DCC mobile so we can see this happening. Oops. Back to this. Nice. It actually put the thing to shut it up or not into the code already in anticipation of that. So both the load and save settings methods. Good. There's open settings to get them in the first place. There's the icon button for the gear. Oh, it's putting it in the same file, so we're not going to see it. I was hoping we'd start to see like pages or something like that, and we can have it refactor later. But like right now in main.dart, it's got everything. We're going to have that file decomposed. Get that error editing file quite a bit. I don't know what it means. Eventually it gets it right, but it's interesting how it does that. Sure, definitely. Oops, I hit the enter key one too many times. that actually made reference to the, we've got it set up on the client, but we don't have it implemented on the server yet. It's actually in the doc that way. Okay, I'm gonna wait for that because what I'd like to do, let's get into that main. We have the main app, which is fine, the DCC app, but I want to get the quote screen and we'll see the settings thing eventually. And the settings screen. Is there anybody else in here? I haven't seen that work yet, but let's go ahead and pull it out. I think. Okay, so just asking it to refactor it so that we're not shoving everything into main.dart. Let's see what happens here. I thought it would have done that by itself, but it was trying to be cheap. Trying to see this occurring over here in this general vicinity, if it works. Let's see, yes. Okay, screens is there. This is pretty interesting because the actual what needs to be imported for a particular screen is not a, it's not a trivial thing. It's not a hard thing for a human. I don't know how it is for Claude code, but this is the kind of place where hopefully all the code that it wrote kind of, it takes it verbatim and just moves it. And then just the imports would have to be adjusted according to what's needed. But fingers crossed that we don't mess up the code by just refactoring this way. Good. Since we actually added a new dependency for those shared settings or shared preferences, I'll stop the Flutter app and restart it when we go to test this. lot of stuff. Certainly is better organized. All right, let's see. Should take a look at these though. Let's see. Code. All those. It needs HTTP. That's good. I'm glad to see that. Somehow the settings does not. Well, I guess let's take a look at these methods. Let's see what this guy's doing. It's really implemented. I'm looking for that shared preferences. I'm not seeing it. Let's go down here. Pub spec YAML. Make sure it's still in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's pop in here. Quit this app. Cute. And then do it again. Okay, so now we see the gears here. So let's do quote.
If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. By Booker T. Washington.
Okay. Do this. So audio settings. All right, cool. This looks nice. Well, look at that. That's really pleasant. I'm going to turn this off. Go back. No audio. Good. It's even showing us it's canceled there. Come back into the settings, turn it on, back here, and now it's showing that it's active.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. By Winston Churchill.
Nice. And then let's go ahead and just say, oh, I only want. There's a none. That's probably not a good idea. Money and motivation. We come back here. I'm going to stop the app and see if it comes back. Let's quit this. So that we go through the whole thing. We do a run again and see that it comes back with those two settings chosen. Great. Motivation funny, so it does truly persist what our settings are. That's good. Here's one. Let's go back in here. If I click all, I'd like to turn off everything else, right? Good, it did do that. All right, so funny motivation. I like that it accommodates it. If we added 2 or 3 more, it'd be easy to get that, make it out. Let's see what those things are in the code. Find in files. Settings start. So clearly if we pick all, it turned off the other one. So now what we have to do is say, if it ever goes to nothing selected, that all should get picked. We need to have that happen. That's something we could instruct Claude to fix. I'm wondering though if it would be faster to add a couple more available categories as we want. But leave that be for the moment. They're going to go somewhere because it's going to be important to kind of keep that up to date with whatever's out there. Well, there you go. I think that's enough for now. Ugh, couldn't be more boring to anyone else, but it was fun for me. Okay.